poet, artist, diplomat, the author of the Earth Anthem, distinguished members of the audience, ladies and gentlemen, friends. It's my pleasure to join you at the request of the Indian Council of Cultural Relations at the launch of this unique anthem for the Earth. Abhay, when he wrote to me about this initiative, described the need for such an anthem, to pay tribute to our planet, to remind ourselves of our responsibilities as global citizens, and in conjunction with the many other anthems we sing, to remember that we have a supranational loyalty alongside the claims of our nation, our state, or our favorite IPL team. It is, when you think about it, a simple and elegant idea. We live in an increasingly interconnected world. Whether it's the advent of technology bringing us together, or the common challenges imposed by climate change, a global consciousness has certainly begun to emerge. To give it form and focus, one could well argue that we need to establish a common language and common icons. In time then, emerging generations of global citizens would come to rally around those in realizing their debt too sustains us all. What better icon then than our planet itself, and what more universal language than music? So this notion of finding a rallying point for a global consciousness of unity and diversity is one that of course finds particular resonance in India as the ICCR celebrates. We are, after all, an ongoing and as a form of coexistence that encompasses exceptional diversity, woven with loyalty to a higher set of ideals, and in doing so finds a unity of thought and purpose that surpasses all our differences. We are, if you will, one model for the kind of unity that will one day see an Earth Anthem shared and sung by all the peoples of the world. In fact, I remember in one of my books I quoted Winston Churchill's nasty comment that India is merely a geographical expression. It is no more a single country than the equator, Churchill said. Well, Churchill was rarely right about India, and this was no exception. But Abhay has come up with an anthem for the equator and for the planet that it engirdles. And for that, Abhay, I congratulate you. Now, there was an illustrious attempt before this, and that was by no less a figure than the poet W.H. Auden, who wrote a hymn to the United Nations, which was also attempting to be a hymn to the world, which then Secretary General U Thant hoped would become the de facto Earth Anthem. It didn't. In fact, even at the UN in my time there, it was hardly ever played. But as we release Abhay's new paean to humanity and our home, the Earth, it might be worth recalling the words of Auden's famous lyrics, his hopes for humanity. And this was the UN anthem that he wrote. I quote, "Our several voices interblending, playfully contending, not interfering but co-inhering, for all within the cincture of the sound is holy ground, where all are brothers, none are faceless others." Unquote. W.H. Auden, you walk in illustrious footsteps, Abhay. I'm delighted that you have, in the shape of Kapil, a distinguished poet himself, to do this release, and I'm very privileged to be part of this very special occasion. I wish you and the Anthem and the ICCR all the best always. Jai Hind.